Do you know? I was talking with Corey.
Corey, a
Corey,
26-year or white man, right?
yeah, the big man.
Yeah. What did he say?
I told him that I will leave in a month because I finished my contract with Kalahari at March 27th.
Okay.
And the first thing he told me, do you have an idea what does he told me?
Let's chill out. Let's go to a party. Let's travel. I don't
Well,
know.
something like that. But the first thing he told me is, "Oh, you have to have sex with American girl before you leave."
Let's make it for the green
No,
card.
no. He says you must have sex with American girl before you leave.
You must. It's a must have action.
Yeah.
What do you respond to that?
Oh, what the hell? Yes, because you will not find you will not find that girls at Peru or yes, man.
Do you?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You have recently.
He did wanted to provoke your desires.
Yeah, he
What do
did.
you so yeah, I mean, American women are extraordinary, fantastic, gorgeous, beautiful. They are curvilinear, everything that you want. But the belief they have, it's completely contrasting to our beliefs. And instead of being more polite, or they are polite actually. Every time that I salute or I greet a girl or a man in general, every American people, it's polite. I don't find a problem with that. However, if they are mean, they are rude, they are extremely rude, they're extremely mean. There's not like a middle, there is no a middle. And I sometimes find that kind of troublesome, kind of disturbing, and I don't feel okay with that. That's why if somebody would offer me to stay here for the rest of my life, I completely reject it. I would completely reject that offer, and because of the food too.
Yeah.
The food is not healthy. It's not natural. It's all chemicals with artificial flavors and stuff like that. Ah, disgusting.
Even though it's
Disgusting.
delicious. Yeah.
Delicious is the last word I would choose to talk about the food in America.
Oh.
It will be the last of my words. Anyway, coming back with taking coming back to what I was saying. So you are a lifeguard in a Kalahari resort. What are your duties by being a lifeguard?
Well, as our God says, our principal duties are to scan the water, work as a team, and well, to respond to all emergencies. And our second duties are to performance open and closing activities and look for the chemistry in the water. Yeah, for me, well, when I'm there, when I'm in a position, I'm scanning the water, or in whatever position I am, my first worry is to keep the, well, yeah, to keep the well-being of the guest. You know, I was not in an emergency. There is just one opportunity where when I listen at four long whistles, but I was not in the position. I was in more trouble. Yeah, somebody told me that when they made four long whistles, they it was a person in the stairs to Swahili Sur.
He was going upstairs.
Yeah,
What
she
happened?
I think she was a girl. So she was going upstairs to Swahili. Well, he was in she was in the line
Uh huh.
waiting to get Swahili, and suddenly he falls on the
Passed out.
yeah he falls on the
Oh my
floor,
gosh, it's a
and
classic.
yeah, and one lifer saw that and for long whistles and that. Well, I was not in emergency, but when I'm in the position, I always look for the well-being of the guest,
Mm-hmm.
and that's my first responsibility. I think being a lifeguard. Yeah, if there is something that somebody is shocking or they may unconscious suddenly, yeah, I have to act.
I get
Hmm.
it. So there are certain protocols that you follow in order to cure or give or provide treatment, or as you mentioned,
Yes.
some you take some actions in that circumstance. Okay. That's cool. Good to know. So, do you think that your English provides you the confidence to talk to the guest in every single position, even when in the top or in the bottom?
I think yes, because well, let's let's talk about the phrases we usually use. For example, in top of body, top of well, in every top of attraction we
Uh-huh.
are like are common. For example, when you are at bottom of Victoria, bottom of Storm Chaser, you have to ask, "Hey, are you taller than 48 inches, or are you 48 inches or taller, or whatever,
Yes.
however you
Yes.
say that?" You have just to do that. The boy will say yes or no, or you have to measure him or her,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to say no life jackets on this attraction, please. Or when you are at top of Swahili, have you already understood all the rules and situation? Yeah, those are common phrases.
Uh-huh.
Maybe the problem is when I guess it happened to me. I was in bottom of party slides, and one guest came to me and he asked me, "Hey, do you know where the hot tubs?"
What do you understand in that moment?
Yeah, I didn't understand hot tubs. Hot tubs. I knew that there was no there is Mad Hat. It is
Uh-huh.
a swim bar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I know that the water was warm, but I didn't know what was hot tub mean.
Yeah, happened to me the same.
Yeah, the first thing that that I do when I don't understand it is, excuse me, can you repeat, please?
Yeah.
The hot tubs. Where are the hot tubs?
Where are the hot tubs?
I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm newly. I say that. I'm new employee. I'm sorry. I don't know. You don't know? No, I'm sorry. And he's telling me, okay.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
thank you. Anyway, but they are polite. Even when you respond
yeah,
no,
they are.
they are polite,
Yeah,
right? They
most of them are
understand.
polite. Hmm.
I get it, I
But
get it.
then I discovered that hot tubs are yeah like a pool with hot water. No, right? And well, now instead of said I don't know, I'm I'm saying like, oh, excuse me, my English is not as yours, so can you tell me that a little bit slow, please? And in the most of cases it works, and I understand their idea, so I can respond them. I can give them an answer.
That's extraordinary. Then it is a matter of attitude, as you said before, because some people, some lazy students, or like in general minor, who are not mature enough, they might say, "I don't care, I don't know," and that's it. But in your case, you're saying that you give a complete response, a mature response, like, "Hey, could you give me some a little moment? Could you give me some time to provide you more information? I will call somebody that can gives you that information." Like the head guard, right?
Yeah,
We usually call the head guard double whistle, and then somebody in charge comes and takes over. Easy. That's great. That's great. So you feel that your English wasn't as good as you thought in the first in the beginning, but gradually you were improving your fluency, and when you were gaining more knowledge, vocabulary, and background, refer to the water park attractions, then you just took it easy, right?
yeah,
It improved everything, and then you had the willpower to improve your communication skills. That's awesome. That's awesome. And what happened? What happened when, let's see, there are a lot of attractions. There are two attractions called Rhino and Swahili, in which you gotta measure their weight if the guests meet the weight requirements in the balance.
mm.
So, was there any problem in your entire work and travel experience when measuring guests? Were they mad at you? What do you do?
Well, I had two situations, right?
Mm-hmm.
The first one was when, yeah, it was in the beginning when we just had like 2 weeks after we started to work.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, there was double riders. I think it was Mara and her son. Her son.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, as you said, they were a little bit fat, and they exceed 400 pounds. So they didn't, well, they couldn't go through Swahili. Yeah, it was in Swahili. Well, Swahili, Swahili,
Yeah, I know
sir.
what you mean.
So they told me what happened. And we did it 4 times. So I don't know what's the problem. The problem is that they command me. So I decided to say, okay, it will be our top secret. Please go quickly.
Top secret. You mean the
Yeah.
thumbs up to the camera?
However, there was a rhino at top of cheetah, and he was
Oh
watching. He was
no!
listening. Yeah.
I can imagine it. And then
Yeah.
what happened?
Yeah. Well, I sent them down.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, there was no problem. They get at the bottom, perfect, and there was no problem. But the rhino told me, "Do you know that those person were exceeded the 400 pounds?" Oh yeah, but she told me that they did it 4 times, and they, well, the rhino told me, "Do you know that there was a rhino here in Swahili? They sent them down even though they exceed the permitted weight, and that person, well, one of the person that they sent down, she knocked it head, and his head started to bleeding,
Oh my god!
and he demanded to Kalahari, even though the lifeguard was, you can go, he was a good person because he sent them down, and but when the potatoes are hot, nobody is responsible.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you
So
mean.
Kalahari terminated him,
For a
and
simple action, right?
yeah, for that simple action, even though he was a good man, sending down, and well,
Unfortunately.
yeah, I well after that, I usually, even if the guest told me we did it many times before, we did it yesterday, no, I'm sorry, that's the rule. I can send you.
Because behind the rules is a most important phrase of Kalahari resorts, which is safety, right?
Yeah, but I know that sometimes even the elite lifeguards broke the rules. But how can I say? It's like you must know how can you break the rules. For example, one of the rules says that we have to always scan the water,
Uh huh. Yeah.
right? And we usually do that. But sometimes there's a little lifeguard that goes and, well, let's think about wave pool. So the little lifeguard go to wave two or wave one, and start to talk with a rhino or another lifeguard, and the lifeguard is not scoring the water. He becomes to distract because they're talking.
Definitely.
Yeah, do you remember the RID factor?
RID factor: recognition,
Intrusion,
intrusion,
distraction.
distraction.
Yeah,
Uh
this is
huh.
the distraction factor. Or sometimes that they say you have to grab the rescue tube like that,
Exactly.
and this part you have to catch it with your hands.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they don't do that. However, they are lead livers. I don't know why, and they didn't receive. They don't receive a punishment.
Uh, Sometimes from the supervisor,
Yeah,
but as you mentioned, sometimes they are ignored.
yeah, and there was another opportunity when we had to close the wave pool because they had to clean it, and so yeah, there was nobody in the wave pool.
Okay.
And I was in wave one, two, three. I was in wave three, and I was, well. I started to talk with the lifeguard that was in wave four,
Uh huh.
and a little lifeguard come. Hey, scan the water. Don't talk.
Nonsense.
Yeah, but I saw in one opportunity two rhinos talking. They were playing rock scissors papers.
No way.
They were not scanning the water, and nobody tell them nothing, even though they are rhino guards.
Rhino, responsible, honorable, integral, neat,
Optimist.
obedient.
Yeah,
What the hell the words are? Doesn't make sense.
yeah. Well, it always happen in a work, you know. Sometimes they are the privileged. No, well, people that can take it easy.
Eventually, you will notice that in every place you work, right? In every environment, I guess.
Yeah,
Even in Peru, in Colombia, Brazil, every country. It happens every time, everywhere. Somehow, it is all about convenience. If you are the best friend of the
yeah.
manager, then you ask him or ask her to becoming a manager in your department, and then you can do it because you have the power. And that's also another topic to talk about how relationships are formed and how impactful they can be in our lives. For example, in your case, what kind of people, what kind of friends do you have that surrounding you? What kind of characteristics do you see in a human being for him or for her to become your friend? What are you aiming to find in a person to become in a significant other of you?
Okay. Well, I have few people that I consider my friends, because uh, I think that mm, a lot of too many people just start to tell that you are my friend because we drank together, we were in that party together, or we fight with the same girls.
That is kind of extreme. That is kind of
Yeah,
extreme, but yeah, that happens.
yeah, it happens, and they consider that they're friends. But for me, to have a friend, it's like, well, it's like Harvey Specter says, loyalty is from both sides. If I ask it for you, you receive it from me. O sea, well, if you're my friend, I know that I can trust on you and you can count on me, even when, even when we are in problems. That's a friend for me. And even my roomies, yeah, as normal friends, we usually, well, we often have problems, discussions, things like that. But when we are in need, let me tell you that when they came to ESS the first time, I gave them my I gave them my Inca Cola bottles. Yeah, I bring Inca Cola bottles from Peru to here.
Okay.
Yeah, I
You drink
received.
together?
Yeah, I received them with the arms open. Yeah,
So
but
polite.
there was some situations that uh made me to realize that, well, they are teenagers too. Well, I'm a teenager too, but we have different focuses, we have different ways to things maybe, and it's okay. We are friends, but not exactly like closest friends. And I think that it's a little bit difficult to explain that,
Just
but
acquaintance.
yeah, but to say that, for example, you're my friend, it's like I told you, it's that you can count on me and I can trust on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the phrase for me, to have a friend. So to make our relationships, um I don't go to parties. I didn't go to parties here yet, but I saw, for example, my roomies. They has many friends. They knew them in parties, and they usually, like like males, we usually use the dick to talk every phrase, you know,
All the time. All the time,
all the
everywhere,
time.
somehow.
Yeah, I do it, but no always. So when I am with a group of friends, they just talk and talk and talk. We dig, or we sex or things like that, and I'm just listening. Oh yes, okay. They could think that I'm not as sociable as they, but mm, for example, with that, it's comfortable for me to talk about these things with you,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that with these topics, I have the opportunity to explain all my ideas because it is not just about sex, not just about drink, or it's not just about parties and that. No,
Different points of view,
yeah,
more topics to talk about. Yeah, I know what you mean.
yeah. However, I like to share with them too because no, well, no all must be like correctly. No always is to work. You have to take your time to take a rest.
There are both sides on the coin.
Yeah, to dance, to drink.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Like whatever human being.
yeah, like 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 a human being. We're
Otherwise,
human beings.
you would turn crazy. And being a workaholic, it's so popular. It's a popular term in the United States when you need to survive by having or applying from 3 or 4 jobs to make a living.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Um, I know what's your point about having new friends in your life. Like you consider a lot of things not only immaturity but maturity too. That is that is so so richful to hear because you mentioned people that comes to the work and travel experience usually are aiming to go to parties to get not to get sober definitely, but the other side which is being drunk after the effects of marijuana, of alcohol, of any other drugs that you can find. Even here, this is the world of drugs. It's even permitted in every state in a little percentage of in a little quantity. It's permissible to drink, to smoke. It's okay, but I think the key of life is having moderation, to be disciplined, even with your breath and your good habits. Let's say you get up every day at 5 or 4 a.m. and you do it every
oh
day.
no.
That will be painful in the long run because who who the hell gets up at 4:30 a.m.? Not it's like 1% of people if we're talking in terms of number. Like in the entire housing, I would say that like 2 or 3 people would get up at 3 or 4 a.m. I used to be the one who used to get up at 4 a.m. or 4:30 a.m. But then I realized, hey, I'm on my holiday. I'm on my summer vacation. I'm on my summer vacation, so I need to take a rest. As you mentioned before, if I just keep going, keep going, keep going, then at some point I will burn out.
Yeah,
I will reach that point in which even the entire knowledge that I obtain from that study sessions, from hard work, will we're going to pass out as the guests when going upstairs to the Rhino Swahili attraction. So, what's the point of that?